Okay, it's been called the best novel of its genre since The Outsiders by Larry Hoffner by the Calgary Review. It is the debut novel from Calgarian Stephen Shawcross and has consistently been on the Calgary bestseller list. It's titled Runaway Summer. It's a really cool packaging as well, and that's where I guess the urban planner part of his career comes in. And joining us to talk about the book is author Stephen Shawcross. So thanks for being with us.
Good to be here.
You and I were having a little bit of an interesting chat about how this book came about, and one of the things you said was that everybody has a book in them, and that was really relevant for you.
I'd wanted to write the book or a book for quite a while. I have a number of creative outlets, and the writing, my creative writing outlet was confined to humorous New Year's cards I'd send out to various friends. And it usually involved the recurring dream sequence that would get me off into some adventure. Anyway, I finally decided to sit down one day and write this thing. And I think I mentioned the inspiration was actually a Calgary artist, Neil McClelland. I'd purchased a painting of his entitled 100 Days. And what it is, it's 100 tin cans that have been put together in a large installation, Andy Warhol type of drawing or painting. And the story behind the painting was he painted a can a day from wherever he was. Mm-hmm. And so I said to myself, well, if I could write a page a day from wherever I am and whatever I'm doing, in 365 days I would have a novel. And so that was the genesis of the discipline that got the book done.
That's amazing. I think a lot of people have that desire. Now, the process that you went through, though, in terms of writing that page every day, you didn't have a structure for it. That's the really interesting part. I think some people think, oh, well, don't I have to have an idea and don't I have to have it planned out? And they get overwhelmed with that and then actually just don't sit down and do it.
Yeah, it's a bit different than, say, the urban design where you kind of, you work within a structure.
Yes.
The way I wrote, it was just straight stream of conscious. I'd sit down and the pen essentially just took off by itself. I wasn't sure where it was going to take me. I had, nuggets of ideas, and these creative inspirations would come, and you would write them. And my task at the end of the day, of course, was to figure out how to weave this thing together mm-hmm. into some kind of a cogent package at the end of the day.
So describe the novel for us.
Well, it's set in small town Ontario in the 60s, and it examines the lives of a group of friends as they struggle with the pressures of adolescence. These are 15, 16-year-olds, along with the myriad societal changes that marked the 60s. The counterculture movement and the civil rights movement and the protesting the war in Vietnam, etc. These are influences that they have to deal with as they're trying to find their way in the evolving sort of social order. And it examines the relationships and interrelationships of these characters as they go through this period. Mm-hmm.
So a little bit of personal experience thrown in there?
I say it's my life thinly disguised as fiction. Obviously you impart the experiences and anecdotes and bits of your character to the protagonists and the antagonists.
Now, you're quite an accomplished individual. I have to point that out. First of all, I'm looking at your glasses, and it's so obvious you're creative. I think you can tell a lot about people by their eyewear or their choice of accessories. And you've got quite a distinguished career, and now you've written a book, and a master of all things, I would think.
Well, I have a lot of interests,
yeah.
and you just, you do them, you work on them, and you get better at them over time. So again, I'm involved in music, writing. I do a bit of painting and sketching, and of course the urban design is my full-time vocation. But it's you do what you love doing, and I do have a lot of interests that I pursue.
Well, I think it's really important when you talk about a novel that, as you mentioned, is based a fair bit on personal experience and is really an expression of yourself, thinly veiled, if you will, in terms of the fiction element of it. It's always really great to get a sense of the author so that you can really personalize it when you're reading it. So when people are reading this, what do you want them to get from it?
Well, there are a number of themes, obviously, that run through the book, mm-hmm. but it's probably it might be just the enthusiasm of youth which comes through. And again, that passion, because, we feel passion very, very strongly in our adolescence. And I hope that comes through. And that passion is felt by various individuals for again, various vocations. We have the hockey player, we have the musician, we have a hood who is aspiring to be the king delinquent.
Yes.
So he's aspiring in his own way to be the top of the heap. But it's that, just again, it's the again, that enthusiasm, the passion for life that hopefully is a bit of an underlying message. And it's interesting because the characters reflect at the end. Two of these characters meet much later in life and reflect on this time period and what impact it's had on the paths they've taken as they've moved on from this great time in their lives. And
your path has taken you to writing this book, and 25 weeks now on the bestseller list.
Yes, yeah, that was an added bonus, and it's one thing to get it out and to see it in print, and I've been very happy with the success it's enjoyed at the top of the Calgary Herald bestseller list. So I'm hoping that it'll continue there for a while longer.
Well, thank you so much for coming in and chatting with us about your book.
Great.
All right. So we've been talking with Stephen Shawcross. The book is Runaway Summer. We have some copies to give away here at Shaw TV. All you have to do is call the Shaw TV viewer response line. The number is 539-6640 for your chance to win. Also, if you want more information, you can log on to the website. The address, www.runawaysummer.com.